Final few questions as we wind down here. You mentioned WWE. I was shocked the last time we spoke a few years ago, it was right after you left Impact in 2015, that WWE NXT didn't pick you up immediately. I think you'd be a fantastic fit there, but so much has changed since that point. 2019 now, it's been 4 years. WWE doesn't really seem to be the be-all, end-all for wrestlers, fans anymore, the same way that it was years ago. How have you kind of seen that shift happen in the last number of years?
I think it's just so much talent.
Yeah.
I think that, WWE's not under any, they're not under any obligation to sign every good wrestler.
Yeah.
They're under an obligation to sign the guys that they think they can do something with and deliver, because you remember that, they're in a very damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. Like they sign a guy that everybody likes, but then they don't really have any idea what to do with them. Then they get heat for dropping the ball with them.
Yep.
Or if they sign someone and then push them to the moon over the top of all these other guys they have, then they go, oh, you dropped the ball with this guy, and this guy.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so many hours of television. There's only so many hours of content. And there's only so many guys you can get over at one time. So I think that my advice to guys out there, who have asked, and, based on my own experience, is once I got it out of my head in my late 20s, once I changed my overall philosophy, and I didn't even realize that I had this until I realized that I'd been living my whole career in TNA with this in the back of my mind, was that I'd been spending my whole career with one career goal of getting signed to the WWE.
Yep.
Which is totally the wrong approach to anyone, because making your entire goal to be, I need it, but I need someone else to make that decision in order for it to happen, is a horribly insecure thing to do to yourself, because obviously you can't control the way someone else thinks.
Yep.
Your goal should be to draw money. And now this is where, like we were talking about before with social media and stuff, that's where you do have more power.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you bother to make the effort, like Marty did with his villain vignettes, or like we did with the 10 Pounds of Gold series, or like I did even before 10 Pounds of Gold with a series of vignettes I produced. If you're willing to make the effort and show the audience with conviction, when they look in your eyes, they know that you're dead serious about who you are and who you want to be, then you'll get somewhere. And if you can cultivate that for yourself without needing anyone else's help, then you have real power and real freedom. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, hey, maybe WWE want to book me for a one-off. Maybe we both just want to see how this goes on both sides before we commit to anything.
Yep.
That's totally fine, And I think that, again, as the landscape shakes out and stuff like that, that's a possibility. I'll tell you the truth. I was made an offer by AEW, and I counter-offered with, I'd like to be able to do both. Like I'd like to work. I'd like to work with them, because obviously I have great admiration for Cody and the Bucks and what they've been able to do.
Yep.
But I wasn't prepared to walk away from the 2 years of work I've done with the NWA, and that was that. I said, if we can find, and I left it open and told them, hey, if you can find a way for me to be able to keep doing this and do your show, I'll do your show. But if you're asking me to, they essentially wanted to offer me a contract to walk away from what I'd done here,
Yep.
just to do it there. And I said, that doesn't make any sense to me, and really there's no reason to. That's just a hangover from the way things have always been done. And, when, obviously we hear this phrase, change the world, a lot. That was kind of my pitch, was like, well, if you really want to change the world, like, why can't we do that?
Yeah.
And because that really would be a change, to be able to say, okay, this guy works here, but he also comes here, You never know when he's going to show up, right? Like, but I'm not, there was obviously still on very good terms with Cody and the Bucks and everything like that. And, I had a nice conversation with Tony, and everyone was aware of it. Billy and Dave were aware of it. Everyone was aware of it. But I, like I said, at the time, my stance was, if I can do both, then I'll come. And I think that as it shakes out, and everyone starts to realize the demands that are going to be placed on them with cable TV and everything else, I think those sort of possibilities are going to be way more apparent in the next coming year for some guys.